everybody. Thank you for attending the Egg Harbor City Common Council meeting for November 18th, 2021. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Egg Harbor City Common Council was provided in the following manner. Advance written notice of this meeting was posted on the Egg Harbor City Hall bulletin board. Advance written notice of this meeting was posted on the Egg Harbor City website. Advance written notice of this meeting was sent to the Hamilton Gazette, the News, the Press, and the Current. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing requirements, the meeting is being conducted via Zoom and conference call. The meeting is also being recorded to air on the Egg Harbor City website and Channel 97. Roll call, please.
Mayor Gimpetti here. Brown here. Clark here. Dash
Here.
Heist. Sefton here. Timbers
Here.
Trithol
Here.
Wright
Here.
Ritchie.
Here. I have a motion to approve the minutes from October 14th, 2021.
Make a motion.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, at this time, I would like to open up to the public. If anyone has any comments on any item on the agenda, now's your time to speak on it. All right, no one from the public has anything?
Question.
Oh.
Can you? Yeah, I just wanted to know what the LEAP Challenge grant was all about.
The lead grant is to cooperate with Atlantic County and approve them submitting the grant for a crash car, I believe it's called. Yeah, I don't know the exact name, but
Attenuator.
That's a neighbor.
That's
Attenuator.
so
A piece of equipment?
Right.
not for them, so that other municipalities could use it. And right now, we do have a need for that, so.
Okay, that's all. It didn't have it in the resolution, what it was for.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else from the public? All right, moving forward, we are actually going to flip number 6 and number 7. So we're going to go to number 7 first, which would be the mayor's presentation for citizenship award.
So welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. I have a very special lady here tonight, Miss Bird. If you could come up. I'm going to call you Miss Bird. Over here. And to tell you a little bit about what Bird did, we have some more guests here tonight, Anita and Michael. You could come up. They're going to tell you their story and why Miss Bird is getting her award tonight. Thank you.
Although Miss Bird might think, I'm sorry, I'm Anita. This is my brother Mike. A lot of you might see him in town in either a Dolphins jacket or a Phillies jacket. And Miss Bird and him apparently took the bus together, but I didn't know that until one day my brother had lost his wallet, taking public transportation. He takes public transportation because he doesn't have a driver's license and whatnot, and they both work at the casinos. So my family went nuts trying to help Mike find his wallet, and we went a couple days with no news from anyone. And then I came home and I found a note on our door saying, "I have your wallet. Please give me a call." And I gave it to my brother to make the call. I didn't make the call. We wound up. Bird took it upon herself, who lives over in Washington Avenue, right? Walked in the dead of the heat and humidity to our home, which is on Antwerp Avenue, and back. We weren't home, and she did it again another day, carrying all her stuff from work. My brother had cash in there as well, and as we know in this world, not everybody does an honest thing and might give the wallet back, but you won't get your cash back. But he got his cash and his wallet and everything intact, and this wonderful young lady brought it to us. And I don't know, I just think good needs to be really shown to this nasty world that we live in.
I'd like to present you the 2021 Citizenship Award for being an outstanding citizen in Egg Harbor City. Congratulations.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move to number 6 on the agenda. And we have a special person here tonight, Mr. Zach Vernon, if you could come up. Tonight, we're gonna promote Zach to lieutenant. Would you like someone to hold the flag for you? Oh, raise your right hand. Okay, and you're gonna be good. You're not the fire department tonight, you're the police department. All right, so just repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Zachary Vernon,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
the office of lieutenant
the office of lieutenant
at the Egg Harbor City Police Department
at the Egg Harbor City Police Department
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations. Before we ask Zach to say a few words, I'm going to ask our chief to say a few words about Zach. Good word.
Only good. So Zach and I, or Lieutenant Perna and I, went to the academy together, and I won't bore you with the stories of that, but it was a rough start for us. I do now have to say that he is a rock in the police department. He is the even-tempered one when I start to lose my mind. He's the voice of reason, and he is really an asset to not only the police department, but the city of Egg Harbor, having served in the fire department since 2005, and now as a captain in the fire department. He really is somebody who believes in community, he's involved in community, and we are really truly blessed to have him in our police department, in our fire department, and in our community in general.
Yes, I would like to thank the mayor and council for this opportunity. I'd like to thank Chief Aylwin for all her support and everything she does. And most importantly, I'd like to thank my friends, my family for all their support and love that they show me. Thank you very much. And I look forward to continue serving the citizens of Egg Harbor.
Mayor, are you here?
No, you.
All right, at this time, we're going to continue through with our regular agenda for the council meeting. Anybody who would like to leave, you're more than welcome to leave. Anyone who'd like to stay, you're more than welcome to stay. All right, so moving on, Mayor, it's your time for your report. Now we'll shift our turn.
I'm not sure, did I mention the grant, Ryan? I know you sent it around that through by email for the Washington Avenue. Did you send that around?
This week?
Did I mention that last week?
I think I was ready for last week.
Okay. So we talked about that. So we did get a grant for the 100, 200 blocks of Washington Avenue. Thankfully, that's one of the worst streets in Egg Harbor City. I'm glad that it's finally getting fixed. I also received a letter from the DOT and CME about the bike path, and it seems as though the bridges are being approved. There was a little glitch with what type of bridge they want, and Ryan, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
The 13 feet.
the bike path is crossing a bridge, and the bridge now does not meet pedestrian standards. So they had to upgrade the bridge, and depending on what classification the bridge is, depends on the treatment that it needs. So there was some dispute between the safety, DOT and the county as to how it should classify. Seems like they finally have that resolved.
Yeah, it seems like it. So this has been a very long project, to say the least, especially with COVID, but that's really how projects are moving along now, unfortunately. So we're trying to also coordinate that with the county. The county's going to put in a new road there, and that should be done at the same time or around the same time or before the bike lane goes in, just to make it more smooth. And so that, just to let you know, is still ongoing. Haven't heard when it's going to start yet, but it will be soon. I guess I might have mentioned the last time we did receive a bronze certificate from Sustainable New Jersey, which will allow us to apply for more grants for Egg Harbor City. So that's a good thing. And Ryan, I'm sure you're going to bring up the cannabis review from Pinelands, or no? We did get no further action.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, they signed off on your reports.
Okay, so we're good to go with that. I see that Kim and Rich are here tonight, or Kim's here, and I just want to thank you for what you and your husband did in Peace Pilgrim Park. It looks beautiful, and it's really a nice addition to the park, and it'll save us from doing a lot of weeding. Right, Nanette? There's another grant opportunity for community energy planning, and we are eligible for that because we are a overburdened municipality. So hopefully we'll be able to look into that and apply for that. Do you have the information on that? So like about electric cars, you could do that. There's many things you could do. Fleet maintenance. Yeah, so that's a good thing, and Jody's already looked into it, so hopefully we'll be applying for that soon. And just a reminder that the Christmas tree lighting will be December 4th at 6 o'clock in front of the library, as always. And the Christmas parade, December 18th. I think step off is at 6:30, and we're going to line up at City Hall, but in the opposite direction. So Chief, would you want to say anything about that? Because you made the route.
Yeah, just so
It's a
everybody
little
can see.
confusing. We have to be facing the right
Yeah,
direction.
so when we are going to be doing the parade, instead of going facing Camp Street on London Avenue, you're gonna be facing Claudius Street so that we can go down Claudius and then head south down Philadelphia Avenue. It's basically just switching away directions. So instead of going down Liverpool first and coming back up Philadelphia Avenue, we're gonna go down Philadelphia Avenue from a block up and then come down Liverpool. You will post a map on social media so that way everybody can see where it is. And Brenda Ruth is working tirelessly to make sure that that goes off without a hitch. So anybody who wants any information about that can contact her. I know that it's on the city website with her phone number and an email address where if anybody wants to put a golf cart or a float or anything or walk in the parade, you can go ahead and contact her for that.
Thank you. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Moving on to committee chair reports, Councilman Traffic, so received.
Well, obviously, you've seen promotions and that, so other than that,
All right, Councilwoman Heist, does anybody have anything from her with highway or property parks and playgrounds?
Yes, actually, I do.
Okay.
We received, can everybody hear me? We received 2 proposals for the campground. One is from Mr. and Mrs. Ben, who are the people that run it now. And one is from 111 Whitehurst Pike, that's Mr. Oddie. The committee reviewed both proposals. I think the biggest difference is with the Ben proposal, he is offering 15% for all of the 5 years, whereas Mr. Oddie is offering a 0.5% increase, beginning at 12.5 through 15% for the 5 years. And the committee recommendation is that they accept Mr. and Mrs. Ben's proposal. They seem to have the most knowledge of what to do in the campground, and been there for a period of time. And they would like a resolution, if possible, from the council to accept the proposal of Pomona RV Park.
Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on this? No one? Anyone like to make a motion to accept the proposal from Mr. and Mrs. Ben?
I'll make that motion.
All right. Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trifall.
Yes.
Wright.
Yeah.
Richie.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Dash, code enforcement?
Nothing.
Thank you. Utility, Councilman Wright.
No.
License ordinances, Councilwoman Brown.
No, we haven't had a meeting.
Thank you. Councilman Timbers, land use, and Aaron Hopkins.
Aaron Hudson, I have nothing to report this time. Land use, we did have a meeting on Tuesday, and it was discussed about the lake park area that may be declared as an area in the redevelopment. They did have a vote at that meeting to send the issues to council. That vote did pass. There was also a presentation from a Beacon Capital company about possibilities of how they would, if this passed, that they're what they kind of intended to do if they were able to be declared as a redevelopment. There was also I think they went in executive session to discuss the issue with the old Catholic school facility. But I'm not really sure how that resolved itself.
Yeah, I can fill in on that. The board had previously voted to deny an application for an issue with the school. After executive session, the board voted to reconsider and revote an upcoming meeting, so that meeting will advertise probably on the first or maybe the 15th. Once that's finalized, that will be re-advertised. The term should be renoticed, and essentially we'll reopen the application discussion.
All right. Thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Brown, school board.
Due to a family emergency, I was unable to make the meeting.
Thank you. And Megan, anything from Jeff?
Nothing.
All right. Thank you. Chief, public safety report.
Sure thing.
Like to work that way, so talk that way.
So I did it, I took it upon myself to do a little bit of a tweak on the report, just because we haven't had a council meeting during the 2 pay periods. Normally that's how we do it. So this is for the last few pay periods. We had a total of 1,245 calls for service during that time period from October 14th to November 14th. Those included 2 burglary calls, fraud, 1 narcotics CBS activity, 1 robbery, 1 simple assault, 5 thefts. There were 13 motor vehicle accidents, 106 traffic stops, for a total of 46 summonses issued. There were 5 arrests, including 1 DUI. There were a number of residential and business alarms, a total of 216 crime prevention activities and 508 property checks. I would like to revamp exactly what it is that I'm going to be reporting. I don't think that just spewing off numbers to you really gives you guys a good idea of what's going on. A few things that have happened over the last month. I don't know, a lot of people in the public may have seen the video of an assault that happened where someone was hit over the head with a baseball bat. I know that we got calls about that, and people were concerned about that. I can say that an arrest was made in that situation. We were able to identify the person, and criminal complaints were filed with that. There was activity on the 400 block of Philadelphia Avenue the other morning that a lot of people may have seen. I don't know if any of you go to Al's in the morning, but I'm sure that that was the talk there. There was a murder suspect who was apprehended. If any of you was on local social media or has looked in any of the local media, there was a homicide in Atlantic City last month, and that person was suspected to be hiding here in the area and indeed was apprehended here in Egg Harbor City. So we've been busy. We've been busy. In addition to that, we have been out in the community. Earlier this afternoon, we were at pep rally for Cedar Creek. There's a big playoff game this weekend. We've been out there each weekend doing that kind of thing. We do have, so if Cedar Creek does win, please don't be alarmed if you hear lots of sirens and stuff going on. We will be doing a parade route if they win this championship title. So we will do that along with our fire company, all as part of being involved in our community. Other community events that are coming up that we are excited about, we are doing our annual Shop with a Cop. Last year, we did not participate because of COVID, but we do coordinate with the local elementary and middle schools. They provide names of students who do good things, but whose parents may have fallen on hard times. And we get to take them to Walmart after having a breakfast with Santa, and they get to spend a $100 gift card. We have had many generous donations, and that is how the program is funded, through donations. So we will be doing that, a few officers from here. It's a huge program. Usually actually every law enforcement agency in the county has folks that show up. The New Jersey State Police does, corrections as well. So it's a really huge event. It's a lot of fun. We do a parade down the Black Horse Pike from the Powell Center in DHT to Walmart. It's a really great time. And that's really one of the things that we do to build community relations, because there are kids who I've taken years ago who are still like, oh, they still call me Sergeant Marcella. They're like, Sergeant Marcella, you know, so we do build those relationships that way. We are, of course, going to be at the tree lighting and at the parade. But yeah, so we've got quite a few things going on that we're excited about, and more stuff to come. Any questions for me?
Just a quick question. Can you just touch base on the easiest way to make a donation for that?
Sure thing. The easiest way is to come on down to the police department and give me a call. I'll be able to pick it up. But there is the option of mailing it directly to each PAL. If you have a check or money order made out to Shop with a Cop, I will get you that information for the address or anything like that. But the easiest way, give me a call or stop by here. I will gladly take that and deliver the funds over to the PAL Center.
Great, thank you.
And we'll be sure to post last picture. All right, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. Jody, CFO report.
Yes, I have my cash balances report. Try and catch, I'm gonna try to start making sure I have this every month. Started off the year with $2,702,291.78. I'll just read the most recent month that's completed. So September receipts were $959,353.99. September disbursements of $1,142,854.33 for an ending balance of $2,942,433.13. And that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions on anything that relates to this work of this program.
Anyone have any questions? All right, moving on to Meg, your city clerk report.
I have nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Angela, city attorney report.
Thank you. So I have continuing discussions with the Energize people. They're still interested. I prepared a revised memorandum of agreement, and I sent it over to Ryan. Ryan's going to look it over and submit it to them. And so hopefully we'll get that back on track.
Thank you, Angela. Appreciate that.
And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ryan, engineers report.
Okay, a couple things. First is the, like Mr. Power mentioned, that the land use board made a recommendation to city council to find that the City Lake Park property is an area needing redevelopment. There's a study prepared, and I'll sort of give you the short of it is, that Lake Park property has a deed restriction on it, which complicates anything you try to do there. So this gives you the ability to go in and clear that up, and then sort of evaluate the property and, you know, likely re-restrict portions of it for recreation. But there are some developable uplands along Philadelphia Avenue, which is sort of a rarity in town, a portion of which are in the sewer service area. So that's the site that we, you know, had discussion with tackle directly about the possibility of them having some interest. So again, the recommendation back to city council is to find the City Lake Park property, which is block 954, lot 1, to be in an area in need of redevelopment. You could entertain that tonight, or you could wait for the future meeting if that's what council does.
Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
Can you explain to us, like, just geographically where that is? So it's Philadelphia Avenue, before the
Sure.
lake, after the lake?
Yeah, so that's, on the tax map, it's a giant parcel in the middle. The lake is sort of right in the middle of it. It's all one property.
So it's both sides.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's both sides of Philadelphia Avenue, both sides of the lake, all the way from a portion of it runs all the way from Kent Street to Pinjar Street, which you probably heard of. And then all the way from Washington Avenue to New Orleans Avenue, again, that sort of down the street. So it's sort of an awkwardly shaped parcel, but it is all one parcel. So we couldn't just, you know, declare an area redevelopment on a portion of it.
Any other questions, thoughts? Anybody look for forth a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark. No. Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Same.
Timbers,
No.
Trithol,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes.
Okay, the next thing is actually on the agenda. That would be a bond reduction for the White Horse Pike, 600 White Horse Pike property, which is Wawa property. Because of the way the Wawas are developed, there's a land developer and then there's the Wawa Corporation. So there's two separate bonds. They requested to be broken up that way. The developer portion of the work is completed, so we are releasing, we're recommending that the city release the performance bond, contingent upon receipt of the maintenance bond, that portion. Wawa still is supposed to their bond for all the work that they have on site, like $1 million of work, and the inspection escrow and all that. They did just get their building permits, so they should be starting work soon. So,
Good to hear. There's still questions about that.
yeah, no, I mean, they're definitely still moving. The latest hang up was they were waiting for an NFA letter, which is no further action letter, from one of the residential home heating oil tanks that was still there from one of the houses. And everything at DP is just moving at a glacial pace right now. Almost all of it just got that promise. So that was, I mean, they submitted it, I don't know, 8 or 9 months ago. I think they were just waiting. So we finally got that in, and Don just released the permits in the last day or two.
Yeah, they pulled all the permits, which I've been updating everyone consistently, but no one seems to want to believe me.
Yeah, truth doesn't travel very far.
No, it doesn't.
Do they see it?
Yeah, so that's our recommendation, is to release the performance bond in the amount of $65,433. Because of the way they changed the bond laws recently, the maintenance bonds actually have more than that. Sort of backwards on the new store, but so they'll be posting maintenance bond of $76,711.05. And we won't release the performance bond until we get that.
Awesome. Anything else?
Yeah, next thing on the agenda is recommending awarding contract for the 300 block of St. Louis Avenue and 400 block of 6th Terrace. We're recommending award to Asphalt Paving Systems, $257,700. That contract fee and inspection fees are all still under the contract value, so it's, you know, it'll still be all covered by the grant. So that's usually our goal, and that's usually restoring the land, even things will help a little bit. So we're recommending that. Let's see what else we The pre-construction meeting for New Orleans Avenue had to be rescheduled. The contractor is sort of it's a small company, it's owner operator, and he had some medical emergencies he had to deal with. So we now rescheduled for the end of this month. Yeah, he was not real happy about that because it's FY 2018 money, we're still trying to get it spent. So they sent me not very friendly letter, but we're able to address that. Expecting to move forward. Solar project, they're still working on the applications, design documents. I did check in this week. I got an update actually yesterday. So they are still moving along. Let's see, Norms Avenue subdivision, we're working on plans, applications, and plans. 230, still waiting for additional lighting. 300 block in Chicago, we submitted, we prepared our modification project limits with that. So that will likely get wrapped into that project. It should be the beginning of next year. So like April or May. Just we can't really start anything. Then with the sale, we're still working with New Jersey American Water to address BPU's questions. That's been sort of back and forth. So we're just addressing questions as they come in. Yeah, the parking lot. As you can see in the construction, we've only allocated money for that like 6 different times. So we probably have to spend it there, which is nice change of pace. Oh, and a bit of good news for Brayman Avenue. When the contractor milled that out, they found a lot better subgrade than they were anticipating. So they ended up being able to re-roll it and repave it for less than half of what was authorized. Awesome. So that's going to be it for me unless anybody has any questions. What's up?
So I had reached out to Angela with a question in reference to the parking on the side streets.
Yeah.
If it was possible for us to be in that.
Yeah, I replied to that. I mean, in theory, you have the ability to restrict parking on any of your streets. In some areas in town, it is restricted on the street, specifically some space on one side, some on both sides. You have the ability to extend that pretty much as far as you want.
Because the issue that I've been seeing over the years that I've lived in town is when you have a street that is only designed with enough room for one car to come this way and one car to go that way, and you have people that park on the side, it not only creates a hazard for the cars that are en route, it creates a hazard for the pedestrians. It creates a hazard if the people that parked are trying to be in or out their vehicle. I've seen people almost hit. I've seen people hit. I've seen accidents. So I think that as a city and as a council, I would like to entertain the idea of banning parking on just the side streets. I feel like we have enough parking on our streets that people should park on those streets because it really becomes a hazard. There was recently a large Home Depot big rig parked on Beethoven Street, blocking the entire street. A lady was walking 2 dogs up the alley. There was a car coming this way. I was coming this way. I could see the lady. She could not see the car because there was a massive Home Depot truck there. So I'm beeping at her. She's thinking I'm being rude. She steps out and almost gets taken out because that truck was allowed to be parked. So that was really kind of what made me like, you know what, I've seen enough of this. So I don't want to wait until something happens on one of those side streets to say, well, maybe we should ban parking on those streets. So that's why I'm bringing it before council to entertain. And that's, that's why
Councilwoman Brown, I have a question. When you say side streets,
Yeah,
what do you, so the streets instead of the avenues? Okay.
Yeah, like,
so anything that goes east-west?
Yes.
Okay.
Parallel with the pipe.
Okay. So here's my next, this is the thing, a Home Depot truck, there are ordinances that regulate parking of what size vehicles are allowed to park on that. So if there's a Home Depot truck, please call us because we'll go find and knock on them.
I was going to the school,
Okay.
right, when this happened. The guy started yelling at me and cursing me out. I went to the school, I dropped my son off. There was actually an officer at the school. I pulled up right next to him
Okay, I
And I
remember reading
told
about that, okay.
and I said, listen, it's something bad is gonna happen if we don't regulate what people are allowed to do.
Mhm.
People kind of have this feeling that we're gonna do what we're gonna do until we're told otherwise. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we need to do something before something bad happens. Have you ever tried to come up Arago Street by Wawa? You know, it's not a yielding area, but you have to yield. And then you have people that are bold enough to try to fit. That's scary, because it's like you're playing chicken when you shouldn't have to. So that's why I'm asking that we entertain this.
Anybody have any comments on this?
I would have a question. Are the cross streets, I know exactly what you're saying, because when you're driving, you kind of have to leave and wait for the next car coming and wait, tuck in where there's no park. Are the streets wide enough where the parking was only on one side?
But
That
that's
would-
only on some streets. Only on some streets is it wide enough. That's why it's gonna be like, are we gonna pick and choose?
So do we have some streets that are not as wide as others?
So the vast majority of your streets are 24 feet wide. The vast majority of your avenues are 36 feet wide. So with a 24-foot wide street, generally, if you have cars parked on the side, you want to designate 8 feet for that. So if you allow parking on both sides of 24 feet, you have an 8-foot lane left in the middle.
Yeah.
For bi-directional traffic to share.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll all experience that, doesn't really matter. So I mean, in theory, you could allow 8 feet of parking on one side and then have 2 8-foot lanes. It's a little under the recommended, but that's still within the threshold of what's allowable. The minimum recommended for a travel lane is 9 feet. So if you have 2 travel lanes, that would be minimum of 18, that would be 6 feet left. So, I mean, you could restrict it to one side, it would certainly be better than it is now. But I mean, I think that, you know, when you look at the numbers, it's pretty clear, you have cars parked on both sides.
Yeah, it can be a little tricky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you come out of Buffalo Avenue and you take a chance. You have to like ease out, nobody's coming
Well,
on
so
your left.
if the intersections is more concerned, I mean, you can regulate parking distances. There are already minimum requirements from stop signs, and intersections and all that. You can elongate them, you can get the curbs yellow. You can work on that if site distance is concerned, and not, but I mean.
Yeah, my concern is not allowing people to park there altogether.
Sure.
Because another thing I saw was an elderly lady trying to get, I guess, a bag out of her back driver's side door.
Sure.
And I thought the dude was gonna like run or take her whole door and everything in her right down the street because he's trying to, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really a thing about painting the curbs or anything. I think it's something that we need to just be in.
Sure.
Now, should that be something from Philadelphia to Cure Street, or do you think better just the first 500 blocks? I say that we have like the most concentrated traffic between Philadelphia and I would say what, Claudius? Or Deister Road?
Yeah, there's a lot of complications that go into this. I mean, I might suggest that we would kick it to one of the committees, whether it's the ordinance committee or roads committee or one of those to have a little lengthier discussion. Because it's a complicated topic.
But I feel like it has to be brought up at some time.
Sure.
So I wanted to bring it up to you because that's what you do. So.
Maybe a joint, maybe we can do a joint road and ordinance committee.
Anybody else with any thoughts on this?
Where do you have to advertise that, Angela?
Yeah. Sunshine.
You have to, Angela, you have to advertise that. Yeah, here.
I was, going to a committee is absolutely, I think, the correct thing to move forward with doing. I would ask the ordinance committee first to pull the ordinance from parking, review that and see where there's room for improvement, and then the safety committee, obviously, the safety of it. The safety of our residents and visitors is paramount, obviously. So as far as having a joint committee meeting, yes, we would have to advertise it as a public meeting. I'll let the 2 chairs work that out between Councilwoman Brown and Councilman Trithall. I know we're coming to the end of the year and some committees might change some here and there. So I'm asking the two of you, if you think it would be better off for us to have a joint committee meeting, we would have to advertise it. I would probably say for January. Because just from now until the end of the year, it wouldn't make sense to do it. And the same thing for your individual committees. So if you guys could have it answered to us by the next meeting on that, it would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yes. Angela, are you gonna be at the meeting?
Which one, this one?
Yeah, both of them. Right. Okay, so I would also like to see if there is an ordinance that we restrict people from parking on their front lawns, on the sidewalk, and right away. That's very common, and I have sent plenty of pictures to the police department when that happens.
I would agree. The only other thing I would ask the mayor is with these committee meetings, if you would allow for the chief to attend them for her input.
Yeah.
That would be appreciated.
And I have something else for Ryan if you're finished with that discussion.
Sure, I got one thing also. We can go ahead.
First, I need you to call Ramon Valentin. He is interested in, I think he's the owner of the High Grass Company that's, I think they bought the industrial, well, he's part of the High Grass Company that bought the industrial park.
Okay.
And he wants to speak to you about another, like, you know, the restrictions for the cannabis somewhere else. So here's, I'm sorry, I'm giving it to you
No, that's fine.
like this, not texting you, but. And then just, I forgot to send you a picture of that area on St. Louis and the White Horse Pike that needs fill. Did you
Yeah.
did you see it?
It was dark coming in, but I'll stop
Okay.
on my way out.
All right. You-
Um, Yeah, and now that I know which corner, I thought you were talking about the opposite corner, because that one's been the one that's always sort of sunk in.
No,
but
it's
you're-
right, it's right on,
The one
like, you know how
adjacent
they
to the
pour the
house, right?
sidewalk?
Mhm.
Well, there's an area there that has no concrete or nothing in there. Like they
Right.
poured everything else, filled everything else, but not that.
Okay.
So I guess it's just supposed to be dirt, but it just wasn't filled.
Yeah, it might be the area that's just supposed to be the grass strip, but they didn't restore it, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna take a look and pass along.
I mean, we could get Keith to, I did email that Keith put a cone there. So nobody hurts themselves, because if you're walking. Like that happen. If you're walking in the dark and you don't see it, you could
Sure.
sprain your
Yeah,
ankle
trip on it
or trip or something, so.
Yep.
Maybe Meg, you could get Public Works tomorrow to put out a cone there. Or Jack, you can.
St. Louis.
Yeah, it's where, you know, where Diane and Petty.
Yes.
It's on, it's right.
Her side?
Yeah, on that side.
Last question I have for you, Ryan, and actually, Jackie, you might have some insight on this. I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't know if it was spoken about. That lot in the industrial park, did we come to a conclusion of the ownership?
Well, you can talk about ownership, Paul.
I'm trying to think about which one I'm referring to, so.
That was October 10th.
Right. No, I mean, which,
Uh,
I think the one that faces Washington Road, that's sort of in between Melba and Comstock.
yes, yeah.
So I think we've determined that whether the city owns it or the industrial commission owns it,
Oh, okay.
the city is in control.
Okay.
There are some concerns that need to be delineated in the back corner of the lot. So I gotta be out there with Keith when he has some time and she is investigating.
And that's lot 6 and number 3.
Yeah, we have the ability to subdivide off a portion of the one lot. We just need to figure out what portion that needs to be. And sell that next one.
Okay, we'll look at it in the new year then.
Yeah, well, hopefully, ideally, we'll use our station license. So I'll try to coordinate with people and get like the subdivision.
Cool, thank you. Anybody else? Ryan?
Real quick, any word on the signs by the school?
As far as I know, they were ordered. Last time I talked to Keith, that's what he said. I know just from talking to the guys at DOT, I don't know if this is the case here, but they had a massive back order on all the signs they just ordered at the pike. They couldn't get stop signs and a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So I assume Keith was facing the same thing, but
Okay.
I couldn't say that for sure.
I'm pretty sure we had just did a purchase order not that long ago for.
Yeah, it would have been like
so
just
pretty
after
sure
the
we
last
ordered
meeting.
them. Thank you.
Sure.
Great. Anyone else for Ryan?
Oh, wait, hold on. No, because I received a email. And I'm gonna read it. It says, Miss Brown, I'm Heather Longworth. I'm sorry to bother you. But I was hoping you can direct me on where to go about a situation I've been seeing in Egg Harbor City. There's this young black man who seems to have issues. And she's basically saying that it's something, what she wanted me to basically bring it up to you. So maybe you have reached out to her, you know what I'm talking about? No, I'm talking to Marcella.
Oh, God.
There was two things. The one had to do with the autistic child sign.
Okay.
And I thought that was the email, and then I started reading it, and I'm like, oh, wait, that was the one from Marcella.
Two different things.
Yeah,
Can you forward that email to Marcella?
yes,
Or, I'm sorry, Chief?
yes, it was not an email, it was a message off of Facebook. Yes.
Awesome, thank you. All right.
But wait, the sign.
Oh, okay.
There's a lady that contacted me that said she has been contacting City Hall for years to no avail.
You mentioned at the last meeting, nobody's ever contacted us.
Okay,
Actually, it was me that
Oh,
made.
yeah,
it.
we do, okay.
well, I don't
know.
Do you have an
Did you say
email
she
or is it a
contacted?
message?
No, she's never contacted the police department, to my knowledge, regarding any signs for autistic children. What I can do is, I need to reach out to her about another separate incident anyway, not either of those. So I can talk to her and see what we can do. I guess it's maybe similar as with DMV. You have to have some sort of doctor designation to get a handicap area for your residents. So I'll take a look and see what we can find out about that to do that, because I know that she has two sons who, you know, are on the spectrum. So
Yeah, I believe her husband reached out to me. And he said that he had been here and somebody directed him to Trenton. He had gone to Trenton. They told him, you have to go back to your municipality to have it done. And
So,
no one told him to write a letter
well,
or
I was gonna say,
anything
I
like
would have
that.
a blanket recommendation for anyone there. Write a letter to the clerk, write a letter to the
I think
council
that's what we said
president.
last
Yeah.
year.
That's how things get addressed. You know?
Yeah.
Then there's a trail and there's something to address.
Yeah.
All right, so they'll be handled by the chief?
Yes.
Satisfied? All right.
Thank you, Chief.
All right,
Thank you.
going once, going twice for Ryan.
Wait, I got one more thing.
All right, moving on to number 15, resolution, issuance and sale of special emergency notes, resolution of common council of the city of Egg Harbor City, County of Atlantic, New Jersey, authorizing the issuance and sale of up to 50,000 special emergency notes of the city of Egg Harbor City. I could go into detail on this, Jody, but you
I
can
can
give
give
me
it
the
a
notes.
quick answer. So we did the special emergency for the master plan update. This just allows us to issue notes to fund that, and we can then you can anticipate fund balance that is set aside for this in the budget. So
Questions, comments, thoughts, concerns? If not, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Brown,
yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Tricol,
Yes.
Wright.
Yeah.
Richie.
Yes. Number 16, resolution, this is the one Ryan spoke of, 600 White Horse Pike, bond reduction contingent upon posting developers maintenance bond. If there's no questions, comments, concerns, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Second.
roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Tricol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. And again, this is number 17, resolution that Ryan spoke on also, to award New Jersey Department of Transportation fiscal year 2020 municipal aid program reconstruction of St. Louis Avenue, 300 block, and the 6 stairs, 400 block asphalt, 2 asphalt paving systems in the amount of $257,000.
Make a motion.
Second,
Second,
roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Number 18, resolution to award a non-fair and open contract of the dam repairs for Egg Harbor City Lake to L. Ferriazzi Concrete Company in the amount of $17,700. Any questions, comments?
I'll make a motion. I thought we motioned this already.
We tabled
We
it.
did,
Oh, that's right.
we're gonna find another contract, but we actually got a lower quote, so it all worked out.
I got 30 Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Number 19 is a resolution for salary resolution amendment. Resolution of City of Egg Harbor amending the salary resolution of 2021, the salary of the below employees has been amended to the following retroactive back to January 1st, 2021. City clerk 64,771, deputy city clerk 41,569. Be it resolved by the common council of the City of Egg Harbor, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, that the salary for the above position be amended. Any questions or comments? May I have a motion? I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Number 20 is a resolution to, excuse me, budget appropriation transfers. This is annually, right, Jody, or as
Yes,
needed?
the last 2 months of the year, you are allowed to do budget transfers starting in November. So this is just moving money from one line item to another and all the money for things.
I'll make a
Sort of
motion.
shook out.
All right, second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Number 21 is a resolution to approve submission of municipal alliance plan fiscal year 23. Authorize execution of grant agreement with Atlantic County Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse Fiscal Grant Cycle 2023. The Common Council of the City of Egg Harbor recognizes that the abuse of alcohol and drugs is a serious problem in our society amongst persons of all ages, and therefore has established municipal alliance committee. Common Council has further recognizes that it is incumbent upon not only public officials, but upon the entire community to take action to prevent such abuses in our community. Common Council of the City of Egg Harbor has applied for the funding to the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse to the County of Atlantic. Any questions or comments?
And motion.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Number 22 is a resolution to pay out the accumulated absences for Officer Richard Brown, City Police Officer Richard Brown, who signed as November 8th and has accumulated absences to be paid out as follows: 87 vacation, 72 and 3/4 comp, in the amount of 4576.84. Any questions or comments?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Number 23 is a resolution for accumulated absences for Officer Joseph Giordano, resigned as of November 14th and has accumulated absences of 9.75 vacation hours, total of 219.38. Any questions or comments?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Number 24 is a resolution to cancel some grants that are, what's that? I'm sorry.
So that's just an annual, we do if there's any balances left in any grants that we're closing out. The one is municipal lines, the reason that's like a little bit larger. Usually they're just like a few dollars here and there to kind of close out what was left. Sorry.
Any questions or comments?
But municipal lines was, the funding was suspended because of COVID for that year, so that's why there's a good amount of municipal lines.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. All right, resolution number 25, cancel budget insertion. It was resolution 102/2021. That was requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriation in the amount of $255,221.43 was adopted on June 24th of this year. CFO has determined that this was a duplicate and the grant was already included in the 21 adopted budget. Any questions or comments?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. All right, number 26 is a resolution to support Atlantic County Lead Challenge Grant application for the purchase of truck mounted attenuator for Atlantic County municipalities to use. So you all know an attenuator is an additional trailer on the back of a message board or our board made of aluminum framing that is a collision protector from any careless drivers. There's no questions or comments or concerns. And may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Number 27 is the skip the straw resolution.
I was confused. Last year,
So this resolution,
I'm from Nanette.
Nanette.
this resolution
Raging.
was signed into law on November 4th, 2020. Is the most progressive single-use plastics law in the country with the goal of phasing out single-use plastics and enacting a by request only mandate for plastic straws throughout New Jersey. Everyone received the resolution, but no questions, comments, or concerns or thoughts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. The milk ones aren't that bad. Or do we use
Say, oh, yeah, get your straws now. You gotta ask from behind the counter.
I asked them, I'm like, is everybody stealing straws? She said, no, it's because they're freezing them out.
Yeah, that's
So
what
if
it is.
you ask for a straw, they tell you
Yep.
that.
All right, moving on to number 28. We're introducing an ordinance, a salary ordinance amendment. An ordinance amending the salaries and wages of bargaining personnel of Egg Harbor City, whereas pursuant to NJSA 48-9-165, the setting of such salary shall be promulgated of city ordinance. The salaries and compensation of bargaining and non-bargaining personnel of Egg Harbor City therein after named shall be fixed and determined to be the salary range. Any questions or comments on this?
So moved.
I'd like to, a motion to introduce this ordinance.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, may I have a motion to advertise this ordinance on November 24, 2021 for a public hearing on December 26, 2021 in the Hamilton Gazette?
Second. Third.
December 16th.
No, you said the right.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving on to a public hearing for ordinance number 15, 2021, amending chapter 170 of the code of the city of Egg Harbor, section 40 of the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Enforcement Systems and Marketplace Modernization Act, NJSA 2461-31, NJSA 481-1 authorizes municipalities by ordinance to adopt regulations which establish limited taxation of the 6 classes of cannabis activity within the municipality. May I have a motion to open up
A second.
to public hearing? Anybody in the public like to speak on this ordinance? Going once, twice. May I have a motion to close public
Make a
hearing?
motion.
Second.
All right. May I have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
I'm sorry, roll call.
Brown,
Yeah.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. May I have a motion to adopt, a motion to advertise notice of adoption in the Hamilton Gazette on November 24th, 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to the bill list. Any questions with the bills?
Make a motion.
So moved.
Roll call.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Trithol.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Mayor, the floor is yours for any final comments.
Just one thing, the chief had mentioned that Cedar Creek is playing this Saturday at Cedar Creek at 12 o'clock. It is a championship game and we will be having a parade if they win. That's all I
No
have.
hits. When? Kids don't lose.
Good luck to them.
And I have to say, Mason, you should be very proud of yourself because you train basically most of those kids that are on the football team.
They did.
Kudos to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Games at all?
That's what Scott
Yeah.
said.
Okay.
All right, moving on to council. We'll start with Councilwoman Sefton.
I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday and be safe. And that's it.
Councilwoman Brown.
First, I would like to, congratulate our newly promoted Lieutenant, Perna. And I'm very, very pleased to see the direction that our police department is heading in. I love your outfit, Marcel, it fits you. And I just wanted to, ask about what time was the tree lighting on December 4th?
6.
Okay. And I would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and just remember all of the things that we are thankful for, because sometimes we forget even the small things. So just remember, you know, to stick close to your family and let them know that you're thankful for them. That's all.
Thank you. Councilman Dash.
First of all, I would like to say how nice it is to see that we have a chief in the city here, and this is their new department. And also, that we have a newly appointed lieutenant. Also I just want to say on Halloween night, during trick or treat, it's always a big thing in my house. We have a very active neighborhood for trick or treating. And I have to commend the police department, did a really good job as far as being up and down, patrolling the streets. Mischief night as well, but especially on the trick or treat night, it was nice seeing them. And finally, Meg and Jackie, I gotta give you guys props. There's people probably don't realize though, that they're not just like a 9-to-5 employees or 8-to-4 employees. I had sent an email and I had a question and I got a phone call that was like, well, past dinner time with the answer. So I really appreciate that and thank you for your dedication.
Thank you.
Councilman Traffic.
Just happy to see the promotions. We're glad that we have it's going in the right direction for the city and everything else. Once again, because I couldn't read half the stuff, thank you guys for getting the information to me. I had a couple questions for that. And everybody have a safe and healthy Thanksgiving.
Councilman Tim.
I'd just like to reiterate everything that's been said so far. Personally, I wanted to congratulate the chief and the lieutenant. And again, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. There's a lot to be thankful for.
Councilman.
Yeah, I just want a couple things. I want to give a big ass shout out to the Cedar Creek High School. Those kids have been pretty much competing and playing in championships since they were 5 years old. This is what they work for. So we need all the support that we can get out there for these kids and cheer them on, and let's bring this one home. Number two, I just want to let everybody know that Monday night, one of Cedar Creek's kids just committed to the number 5th nation, college in the nation. All right. So for people to always downgrade Cedar Creek and all this other stuff, the athletes and the education that they're putting out at that school is unbelievable. Another Cedar Creek graduate that also came through the Crusaders program, just as a senior at Rutgers, just got elected to the Reese Senior Bowl, which is a big highlight for seniors, and he's probably going to make it to the NFL. So for those that say, there's nothing but thugs and all this stuff in Egg Harbor City, you need to open up that door and realize there's a lot of gifted kids in this area that just need a little bit of attention and point in the right direction. And the sky's the limit for these kids.
Well said,
So,
Mason.
And a lot of dedication.
That's pretty much it.
Cool, thank you.
Mhm.
Councilwoman Clark.
Speaking of thankful, who made these cookies?
Candace left.
Candace?
They're delicious.
If you see this, thank you very much.
Nice.
This is just wonderful.
There you go.
She ran it.
So,
Delicious. I don't think there's anything that she doesn't make that's not delicious.
So thank you to Candace for the cookies. Thank you for, just the Harbor City citizens for, your support over the last year, and thank you to the council and to everyone and to the mayor for, your support and your, professionalism up here. And it was an honor to see so much happening and so much, changing up here, especially with our new chief. And like Councilwoman Brown said, you look good in white. I'm very proud to be up here and to have witnessed this, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And I will see you all soon.
We have another meeting.
Yeah, well,
That's what she
just-
said. So, first and foremost, I'd like to reiterate pretty much what everyone up here said, from council to the mayor, to everybody sitting in front of us. Thanksgiving, definitely take the time to spend it with your family, enjoy your family. Marcella, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Zach, the same, well deserved. We probably have two of the best representing us in that department, and I can tell you that all of us sitting up here right now know that you will not let us down. So congratulations again to both you and Zach. And with that, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Enjoy your holiday. See you on December 16th. And if you would allow me to.
Because I hear somebody unmuted.
If you would, if someone would like to make a motion to open public comment, I'll make it. Second,
Second.
and we are now open for public comment. Anyone from the public like to step forward? Anyone, go on what? Go on.
Oh, me. Nanette Galloway, please.
How you doing, Annette?
Okay. It clarified for me, you took a vote on the redevelopment zone?
Yes, we did.
Okay. I'm asking you to rescind that vote and to put it on the agenda for the next meeting. There was no notification in any of your agenda that you would be voting on that. Do you have a copy of the planning board resolution there?
Mine does.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Would you like to read it so I could hear what they said?
The planning board resolution?
Yeah, well, you're supposed to, act on their resolution. I didn't see it.
I mean, it's 2 pages.
Well, I spoke at the meeting about these redevelopment zones being approved in backroom doors, behind closed doors. And you just slipped this through without even putting it on the agenda. That's inappropriate. I would have spoke about it before you took your vote, and there would have been 10 other people here speaking about it if it was on the agenda. I mean, these things are very important. Giving away land that is deed restricted for open space and recreation for our children now and in the future should not be done lightly and slip it through without anybody noticing. So I'm going to ask you to rescind your vote and put it on for the next meeting so that the public can be heard on the vote.
Nanette, it's a redevelopment plan, not a redevelopment zone.
It doesn't matter what it is. It should be done with it on the agenda so the whole world knows what you did.
And then just to clarify, it wasn't not on the agenda because there's any nefarious intent that the land use board only acted it on a Tuesday. Generally,
I know that. That's exactly right. Two days ago.
Correct.
Nobody had a chance to digest it. And already you're voting on it without even putting it on the agenda. I mean, that's ludicrous. That's backroom deals. You're going to be accused of doing backroom deals for the benefit of a developer.
Let me say something.
Yeah, good. Oh.
Nanette, the difference between a resolution and an ordinance is public comment. So.
Yes, and on the agenda, you have a public comment at the head of the meeting for anything on the agenda. That was not on the agenda. I was not heard.
I'm sorry, Nanette, but you're incorrect. An ordinance has to have public comment. That's why it's called an ordinance and that's why it's advertised. If a council or a mayor wishes to act on in any meeting, you can do so by resolution. And as far as public participation, the land use board in its ordinance speaks about at least 3 meetings it had with the public wherein the public was fully versed on what it was intending to do.
There was only one public hearing. It was Tuesday. I spoke at that meeting against the deeming that area and needing redevelopment.
And the recommendation of the land use board is that the council does declare this area in need of redevelopment, which is certainly within the purview of the council.
I understand that, but they should let the public know what they're doing before they do it. You don't just slide it through. It's not even on, where's the resolution that you just approved? It's not even written yet. You do this kind of thing all the time and slip things through. This is really, 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 really important. And the public should know what you're doing.
So, Ms. Galloway, Ms.
I
Galloway,
think, I want to know, and then the other question is, what's the big
Galloway,
rush?
I'm speaking. Okay, so to honor your request to rescind it, I'm going to open up to my council members right now for one of them to make a motion and then for one of them to second it to rescind it. So does anybody on this council want to motion to rescind this?
No.
No.
Okay, none of my council members up here are making a motion to rescind this resolution.
Okay. Backroom deals, once again. You're gonna be stuck with that hole in City Lake Park forever. And you're gonna have opposition throughout the process. When you do have your public hearing on the plan that's developed, you're gonna have a lot of opposition. You're gonna have to sit in a meeting till like 12 o'clock at night.
And that's what we're up here to do, is to hear the public
Yeah.
speak on things.
No, you're not here. You're up there to give anybody who walks into the city exactly what they want, including tax incentives and things like that. And you're taking land away from the future generations of this town to enjoy as open space and recreation. That building, that Tackle Direct 70,000 square foot warehouse does not belong in my city park.
In your city park, that's understood, thank you.
Yes, I am a taxpayer. That is my city park. That is deed restricted by the owners of the land who deeded it to the city for open space and recreation. Now, you could condemn your own property, which is what you plan to do, which is ludicrous. You think you guys can do whatever the hell you want without even the public knowing about it. And why? Why did it have to be done 2 days after the planning board heard it? What's the big rush? Is there a big rush? Why did it have to be done tonight? Why can't it be done in December at your December meeting?
It was brought to attention tonight. A motion was made and it was seconded.
Okay,
And I honored your request to have it rescinded. None of the council members up here wanted to make a motion to rescind it.
okay. Fine.
Would you have anything else you would like to speak on?
No,
Thank you for
I have
your,
good stuff to say, but I'm not going to even bother.
all right, thank you for your time. Anybody else from the public like to speak?
I would like to say
Sure,
something
go
that
ahead.
I was at that meeting with Carl, and it seems to be that there's a lot of misinformation going around. And just to put it on record here, no one's taking the campground, no one's taking the lake. This is a very small portion, 40 acres, Ryan.
Yeah, about 48 acres of the 460 plus or minus acre lake park property.
So that information needs to get out, because what's there now is a wooded area, and we'll see what the intentions are of the developer in that wooded area. We don't know what they are. We have an idea. We haven't.
No, they don't even know.
We have seen preliminary site plans, because Tom was at a meeting with us at one, I think it was the redevelopment meeting. And he did present what he wanted to do, but it was a very It wasn't, what do they call that, Ryan, when it's just like a preliminary
Yeah, it's just a
sketch?
concept plan.
It's a concept
Just
plan.
sort of approve the concept of, here's something that we could fit here. Here's our vision, here's what we'd like to do.
Yeah.
So it's.
So when that time comes, I believe that we will iron out all those things. But just so the public knows, there is nothing there now. And we have tried to offer it to Cedar Creek at several occasions to put fields there, and they did not want to do it because it was too far away from their complex. We had also, years and years ago, had considered putting a campground there. That was Jack Peterson, and increasing the campground space. However, if we were to do that instead of Tackle Direct, you would still have to have a redevelopment plan on it to get clear title to the property, just to make that clear. So
if I could just say something, just to be clear, we have not voted to give anything away to any builder. We have not committed to any project to be built there. And we have not given away any property owned by the city of Egg Harbor City to anyone at this point. This is just a planning stage.
And I would also offer that, because this was brought up at the meeting, when you have a redevelopment plan, the city council is in full control of that redevelopment area.
And you
Okay?
could accept responsibility for everything that happens then.
Yes, and the negotiations with the developer that are made by city council protect the taxpayers, because you decide what it's going to look like, not the developer. If you don't like what the developer does, you say, see you later, don't like it, that's it. Not to mention that land will be purchased at a pretty hefty price. What was the purchase price?
They even got a price. They even got a price. We don't know anything about it.
Well, we just did a general assessment of the value of a property, and then we multiplied it by 48 acres, that's all. It's not an actual agreement of sale. We're just an estimating to see if it would be beneficial.
Backroom deal.
No,
Ms.
it's
Galloway,
here,
if you
it's
could
here.
refrain from your comments, please.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to my son. I didn't realize, I thought I was on mute.
Well, please put yourself back on mute then. Go ahead,
I
Aaron.
guess that's all I have to say, but there's a lot of misinformation out there. And I'm hoping that it's going to be very transparent in the future as to what goes on. But, if we ever want to have, something out there, this is necessary regardless of what it is.
Well, at a prior city council meeting, you guys voted to send it to the land use board for the generation of this report. It's not the first time this has been.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I also like to make another related note. The city within the last 5 years has deed restricted 188 acres of other wetlands that are in adjacent areas. So it's, to sort of focus on, the city trying to sell, and get rid of all of their park area, I think is, a bit narrow focus. The city has preserved other adjacent areas, which is not in the same parcel.
And there's a potentially we could in that area, because I don't know how much extra, we just talked about this.
Well, that's what I sort of was
That-
trying to
that
get
could be-
earlier.
yeah.
You don't have the ability to carve out a small portion and just, declare that area in need of redevelopment. It's one parcel. You have to declare the entire parcel. Once that's declared, you could deed restrict, the remaining portion of it or whatever portions you wanted to after this process is done. But again, since it's one parcel, you can't cut it up. You have to deal with the whole thing first, and then you can, focus on what you want to do with smaller pieces within that parcel.
And we may decide to do nothing.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, well, if nothing else, this will clear up, because there are a couple of fake lots that have been created within the city just to track building permits and stuff like that. So within this parcel, there are a lot of title concerns that will sort of get washed out in this process. So
And
that, if
also-
nothing else.
And
Thank
also,
you for clarifying.
also, we discussed at the meeting that, one of the housing elements that's missing in Egg Harbor City is for people to buy land and put a home on it. And we don't have that available to people. And apparently, just alongside of the bungalow, that area, maybe a little further down, there are lots that could be sold What do you need, 19 acres, Ryan? to
Yeah,
build?
it's the R20F zone, so it's a Pinelands forested area, you need 20 acres. On one side of the lake, the Pinelands entertained a cluster development years ago. On the other side, they sort of suggested we stick with R20F. But yeah, I mean, we have, 20 acres with a single house.
But I know plenty of people who don't live in Egg Harbor because they can't buy land to put a house on. Because they want that privacy. They want to be out in the woods. So that's an opportunity. Once we have title, clear title, that would be an opportunity for someone.
Not all, Mayor?
That's all.
Thank you. That's well said. I appreciate it. Anybody else from the public? Have anything?
Motion to close the public comment.
Second. All right. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you on December 16th.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
Aye. Me.
Mason.